Hi everyone, welcome to my Facebook Live today. My name's Mandy Witherby from Mandy's Papercraft Creations and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Sydney, Australia. Great to have you with me today. Now, Facebook has changed things again. It seems every week lately I go to film live, something has changed. So bear with me, I'm just going to see if I can flip my screen now because that option again wasn't available. There we go. Wasn't available before I went live. Usually I flip that and I have everything ready before I go live. But yes, it had disappeared again. So we're all good. We're around the right way now. Okay. Welcome everyone. It's great to have you with me, whether or not you are watching live or watching the replay. If you're jumping on live, say hi. If you're watching the replay as well, feel free to pop a comment below and say hi. If it's your first time watching, let me know where you're watching from. And feel free to share this video with anyone that you think might like it as well. That would be awesome. I really appreciate some likes, loves, thumbs up, hearts. If you like what you see, that would be fantastic. All right, so while everyone is jumping on, I'm going to call up this live on my iPad so that I can see all your comments because currently I can't see a one. So let me just bring this up. I've got everything all plugged in and charging up this today because my batteries were all getting low and I didn't have anything on charge overnight. No, we do not want to do a software update. Thank you very much. We'll do that later. Okay, oh, bear with me one moment while I just get this up and running. My iPad wanted to do updates, but it's not a good time. I think that's probably because I plugged it into the charger. So let me just find this live. How was everyone's weekend? Let me know. We had beautiful weather here on the weekend. Okay, there we go. All right, I can now see comments. Fantastic. Hi, Megan. Hi, Amanda. Hi, Teresa. Teresa's here from Newcastle. Great to have you. Hi, Deborah. Great. We've got a few jumping on now, which is awesome. Sometimes it takes people a few minutes just to find me live. Now, I was just checking. So yeah, while everyone is jumping on, I was just checking on the demonstrator website to find what we call the inventory status report. So it gives us a list of the things that might be low inventory, which means the supplies are low, or on back order if they've run out and they're waiting for new supplies to come in. And I was just checking there before we went live and I did a quick overview, but I wanted to have another quick check through there just to make sure the products that I'm showing you today, I can let you know if they are currently available or not. I usually like to try and show you products that are currently available. But because of all the supply issues right around the world, actually, it's not just with Stampin' Up, but a lot of places around the world are having supply issues because some of the raw materials aren't available because of COVID. There's a lot of shipping delays, port delays because of COVID. And so Stampin' Up! Are trying to do their best to keep on top of it as best as they can, and they are doing some additional things to try and get stock to us, so, and for our customers. But yes, but there are a few things that are currently unavailable. So I was just checking them for you to let you know. And so if you see me looking over to the side, I'm just scrolling through over there just to have a look and see what is available at the moment in terms, what's currently available or not available with the products I'm showing you today. Okay, so the ribbon is not currently available, but I think everything else is. The paper was on low inventory last week, but I think it's back in supply now, which is good. It came back really quickly, which is great. So it must have been on its way. All right, so it looks good. I think it's just the ribbon that I'm going to be showing you today when we make our project. Yep, everything else I think looks okay, which is great. Fantastic. Now, I have also got up the clearance rack because the clearance rack had a refresh last week. You may have seen me post about it. So if you haven't checked it out, check it out. There's some great savings there. Some are up to 60% off. We've actually got the Bouquet of Hope. I'm just quickly telling you this while people are jumping on, and then we'll chat a little bit. The Bouquet of Hope Paper Pumpkin kit, if you remember this one, I created with this. This one came out a little while ago, and I created with this one here on one of my live videos. So if you're going back through my videos, you might find it on my YouTube channel. It would be entitled Bouquet of Hope, so have a look there. I don't have it now because I've completed the kit and those cards have all been sent on, but it's in the clearance rack at the moment. It was originally $37 and it's now currently $18.50. So that's a great kit, and beautiful, beautiful projects in that one. And they are really great too for sending out to people who might just need a thinking of you card. If they've had a loss or they've been going through a hard time, that's a great kit as well. But thinking of you as well can be for anything. So yeah, so check that out. There's also some beautiful, I don't know if you remember, recently we had the Natural Touch specialty paper. It was like the wood look paper and it had the texture built into it. And it was not that long ago that we had that. Well, that is in there too now, and it's only $3.50. So it's really, really cheap. There's punches in there. There's other designer series paper, Memories and More card packs. Pardon me. Punches, embossing folders. There's embellishments, ribbon. There's even some copper shimmer paint. That's always great to have in your stash. The shimmer paints are beautiful to play with. What else have we got? Lovely, more lovely embellishments. There's heaps and heaps of embossing folders actually. Embossing folders are fantastic. All different textured ones in there, which are great. They're all $9, some are $7.80. I'm just scrolling through to have a look. That one's $9.60. That one's $10.50. So they're all different prices. Yeah, so go there and have a look. Check it out. Great prices on the punches too. So all of those products in the clearance rack are retired product, but they get reduced when they get put into the clearance rack. So it's great to grab a bargain in there. So be sure to check that out. All right, let's chat for a little bit. Who else have we got jumping on now? Let's see. Robin's here. Hi, Robin. How you going? Great to have you. Oh, Megan said she can't get tires for her car due to shipping delays. Yeah, and actually I heard that cars in general, if you're buying a new car, are low in supply at the moment because they're having a lot of problems getting supply of cars, new cars, and there's like really long wait lists. Oh my goodness, I'm getting croaky. Just a moment. Excuse me, I'll clear that and I'll just have a little sip of water. Oh, excuse me. Okay, hopefully that'll be a little bit better. Oh, Judy said, I need a corner punch. Do you have any? Yes, Stampin' Up does have a corner punch. We have a trio corner punch actually. I'll have a look and see if there's one in the clearance rack for you, Judy, while I've got it open right here. I don't remember seeing any of the old corner punches in the clearance rack. No, there's no corner punches in the clearance rack, but we do have in the annual catalogue. I can tell you exactly where that is. If you have your annual catalogue there, and I'll tell you what it's called as well. There we go. It's called the Detailed Trio Punch, and you have 3 different corners. I've got it right here actually. Let me show you. Might be a bit dusty. Let me wipe it off. It's been sitting on my shelf. It's this one here. So it's a big triangular punch, but you've got, it's hard to tell with the lights. You've got a corner rounder, then you've got a detailed corner, and then you've got this little one here that can act as a, you can punch a hole for a ribbon to go through. Yeah, or yeah, if you're tying ribbon or twine or something like that. So that's the Detailed Trio Punch, and that's in the annual catalogue on page 150. There it is there. It shows you, this is what they look like. Okay, so that hole for the ribbon hole, that just, you can just punch that along a straight edge, but these are the 2 fancy corners. So you've got a corner rounder and then you've got the fancy corner there. And that's what they look like when they punch. So I hope that was helpful, Judy. Yeah, so page 150 in the annual catalogue. Otherwise, if you're in my online store, look under punches. I think it's under the punches section. Let me have a look. I've got that open. Yep. So under the menu, if you go to other products, which is a bold heading, and then go down a little bit and it says punches, and that's where you'll find that one. But yeah, that's a standard one. That's not in the clearance rack though. That's from the annual catalogue. All right. There we go. I was just balancing that, hoping that wasn't going to fall off my shelf. Okay, now my comments keep disappearing on me, so I have to keep tapping on my screen to get them to come back up. Oh, Judy said she missed the beginning. Is the clearance? Might have to watch on replay. Oh, she's got to go now. Okay, no worries. Yes, so the clearance rack has had a refresh. Now, some of the products that were on the clearance rack have already sold out, because all of those ones that are there on the clearance rack are only available while supplies last, because they're retired products. So it's basically whatever is left, and then once they sell, that's it, they're gone forever. So be sure to check that out if there was anything there that you might like to have a look at. Okay, Megan said, yes, they are. I went looking for a new car for my husband. Oh, yeah, about the cars. And some brands are months away for a new car. Yeah, my husband's been looking around too. And I think some cars were like an 18-month wait or something. And I thought, whoa, that's like, you never used to hear of that. So that's crazy. Oh, you want like a fancy edge. It's got one fancy edge in that punch, Judy. So I think you can punch both of them. You can punch the corner, you can punch the fancy edge, and then you can do the corner rounder with that one. Actually, let me have a little play. I'll quickly try that for you and tell you if that's how it would. I haven't used it for ages, this one. So let's see. I'm just using I'll get plain cardstock. I was going to use my note paper with lines on it, but that will be a bit hard to see. So hang on one sec. I always have plenty of scrap. I keep all of my scrap paper. So let's see. So we'll pop that in there. Oh, that was a loud bang. So that's the fancy corner. Okay, can you see that? That's the fancy corner. And let's do the rounder. Okay, so that's, let's go that side. That's the rounder, the rounded corner. I was going to see if I can incorporate the two of them. I'm not sure if that works. I haven't actually tried that before, but let's see. I'll punch that. Oh, yep, it does. So if you punch the detail first and then do the corner rounder, that's what you end up with. Can you see that there? Pretty, hey? Yeah, there you go. So that is the detailed trio punch. So it's good to have a little play, isn't it? Test these things out. There we go. All right. Thinking more like a tag punch with fancy corners. Yeah, there's a few other ones in there too. There is also the elegant tag punch. That's a beautiful one there. That does beautiful tags with a fancy edge. But if you've got your annual catalogue, so anyone who may not know, that's the annual catalogue. So all the punches are towards the back of the annual catalogue. So you can have a look in there or go to my online store. So from pages 147, there's about 3 or 4 pages of punches. So you can go there and take a look and see if there's what you're looking for is there. So yeah, there's lots there to choose from. Hi Athena, how are you? Yes, I am well, thank you. Yes. Great. Okay, so what did everyone get up to on the weekend? Let me know. I would love to hear about your weekends if you would like to share. I had a pretty busy one actually. It was lovely. It was a really lovely weekend. We had beautiful weather. my husband went to see his mum on the weekend. She's currently in respite care, and he went to see her and had a nice visit with her, so that was nice. And on Saturday, I participated in a craft-along-a-thon. So it was a crafting afternoon that we had with some of the South Pacific demonstrators. So that's demonstrators from Australia and New Zealand. Excuse me. And we had a lovely afternoon, and that was held virtually. And we had lots of fun. We had some demonstrations. We got to meet some of the Stampin' Up staff, some from America, some from Australia and New Zealand. And we also got to have a play ourselves. So there were 2 projects that were demonstrated, and we could play along and create them. They were really quick though, so thankfully we had a little break in between each one so I could finish off my project. The first one that I did, I actually sent with my husband. I finished it just in time before he left, and I sent it with him to give to his mum. So I did post up photos of it. It was beautiful, but we were playing with the smooshing technique. If you've never heard of the smooshing technique, we actually did the smooshing technique in my technique club a little while ago. But the one I did on the weekend was I did it. There's lots of different ways you can do smooshing. I did block smooshing with our clear acrylic blocks. In my technique club, but on the weekend we used acetate, which is a clear window sheets. And so we were doing that, and that was lots of fun using some of our Stampin' Up ink pads, or our classic ink pads. Anyway, I had a bit more of a play after we finished, and I haven't turned them into cards yet because then I was trying to do the other projects, and then I ran out of time and had other things to do. But these were the samples that I created, which I haven't made into cards yet. But the first one I did turned out the best, and I was trying to get another one exactly the same, but I couldn't. I think that's the thing with the smooshing technique. Every card you make is going to be different, and of course these are a little bit curly, so I need to uncurl them a little bit, and then once I adhere them they'll be nice and flat. But it was a lot of fun, and you need a water spritzer and some inks with the acetate. You scrape the ink on the acetate and then spritz it with the water, and then we had already stamped and embossed our image, and then you turn that upside down into the ink. I might demonstrate this for you one week as well on my Facebook Live, because it's a really fun technique. But yeah, it looked beautiful. The card that I made just turned out so beautiful. So I was really thankful for that. The next one we did, oh, I'll tell you about the Monopoly in a minute, Megan. Yeah, that was funny actually. Remind me when I get to that. If I don't mention it, remind me. And then the next one we did, I didn't get my card finished. I only got the technique done, and I got it stuck onto my card base. But what we used was the linen paper. So there's a new linen paper well, it's not that new now, but it's in the annual catalogue, and it is actually linen fabric. So you can fray the edges and do all those things, but it has an adhesive backing on it. So when you get it, it's got like a protective backing, like a paper backing on it, and you peel that off, and the back of the linen is actually adhesive, so you can just stick it down onto your card. But what we did here is I just used some different color soft pastels with my blending brush, and then I used some of our decorative masks, and that's what I got. So isn't that cool? So I did that onto the linen, and the linen holds the chalk of the pastels. It holds it really, really well, and it wasn't rubbing off. Sometimes when you do it on cardstock, it can rub off a little bit, but on the linen paper, it doesn't seem to. Anyway, so I need to finish this one off and I have my stamp set out and everything that I was going to put on there and what I was going to use for my label. I just didn't get any further with it. Yeah, so, and then after that, I've got so much show and tell today. Then after that, we did a one sheet wonder. So has anyone heard of a one sheet wonder before? Let me know. Do you know what a one sheet wonder is? I know that some of you will know, some of you may not know what a one sheet wonder is. I have done a one sheet wonder before, but it was we did 6 cards. This one was, yeah, we did, the one we did last time was a little bit different. This one, we created 4 cards with one piece of 6x6 designer series paper. So what I did is I used the Pattern Party designer series paper. So this one's a really big pack. This one has got 48 sheets in here, and there are so many beautiful designs. Now, they're not a themed paper pack like some of our other ones. There's all different sorts. They are really colourful on one side, and you've got all different types of patterns. I'm going to try and pull some of these out to show you. And then on the other side, you've got black and white. So with the black and white, you can colour that yourself with your own colouring mediums, or you can just leave them black and white. But there are so many different designs in this paper pack. And this paper pack, I'm just trying to pull some of them out here so I can show you. This paper pack, you can get, it's a special one because it's a host, it's one of the host gifts. However, here's just some of them. You can kind of see so many different textures. This is the one that I used, this one here. And they're 12 by 12. And there's all of those ones. And then you've got all the black and white patterns on the other sides, which, oh, I haven't done that right, so you're not going to be able to see them very easily. But you've got all these black and white patterns on the back side of these, and there's more patterns in there. I just couldn't pull them all out. So yeah, and there's 48 sheets in there, so you get heaps. But you might be wondering where to find those. So in your annual catalogue, if you go to the very back on pages 170 to 171, it shows you all of the host sets that you can get if you with qualifying orders. So that's pages 170 and 171, and there's the paper pack there. So that's the one there. And these ones, these items here, you can get with, if you have a party and you get qualifying sales of over $250, that's Australian dollars, or if you put in a large order yourself, or you gather orders from friends and put them in together, and your orders are over $250, then you can select one of those items. And this one is $31 for the 48 pack of papers. So yeah, so that's how you can only get them with a qualifying order though of over $250, or if you gather orders or host a party. So if that's something that you might like to do, let me know, and I'd love to talk to you about that. Currently I'm not doing online events because of COVID, but I am running online events. So I would be happy to run an online event for you and your friends if you'd like to gather your friends together, and we can do a little workshop together. And then if you're able to get some orders through that, then those items are some of the things that you can get. Also too, if you get the $250, you can either choose one of those items, or you can choose anything else in the catalogue, because once you get $250, you start to earn what we call Stampin Rewards. So it's a percentage of the sales over $250 that you get as the host in freebies. So yeah, so you can either choose one of those items, or you can choose anything else from the catalogue. So if you'd like more information about that, let me know, and I'd love to tell you about that. So anyway, let me show you the cards that we made. I've put them in their little baggies, so I'll just quickly pull them out of their little baggies. But anyway, this is doing the one sheet wonder, and I thought I might do a one sheet wonder on one of my lives one day, because although I've got something else planned already for next week, but these are great for getting lots of cards and maximizing your paper. And all I've done is just added a sentiment, and I've just used the same sentiment label. I just used one of my picker punches, and then just added the bling and the ribbon. So you might have seen me post these on social media yesterday. Aren't they cool? And so I made those 4 cards, and all I did was have one piece of paper, one piece of 6x6 paper, half a piece of cardstock for the mats, and then I just had 4 card bases. Yeah, so there you go. And you just use different ribbons and bling, whichever ones you like, and the sentiment. So that was really fun, creating those 4 cards just out of a small piece of paper. So now I've got all this paper, so I'll have to make sure I use it, won't I? Now I know I can make 4 very quick cards though, so that will be helpful. So there you go. So lots of show and tell today. So that was my Saturday. And let me see if I've missed any comments. Okay. Oh, I'm hot now all of a sudden, all this excitement. Oh, hey, Julie, you jumped on too. Great to have you here. Athena said, I use that idea a lot. You can get anything from 6 to 8-ish cuts for cards from a 12 by 12 sheet of paper. Yes, you can do one sheet wonders as well from 12 by 12 designer series paper too. So there's all different, and you know what? If you're looking for I'd be happy to share with you the pattern that I have that we used on the weekend, but also so send me a message if you'd like that. But also too, if you go on Pinterest, and just put in one sheet wonder, you'll get a whole heap of different patterns that shows you how to cut your paper to maximize the usage of your paper to make all different cards. So that's really awesome. Or you can Google it too. Megan said, if I disappear suddenly, I will watch the replay. We are getting a storm at the moment. Oh, okay. No worries. Yeah, we haven't had any storms for a few days, which has been good. Touch wood, we don't get any for a little while more. All right, so let me just pop all my show and tell over to the side. And there we go. I like show and tell. It's fun, isn't it? So on something happened on Saturday night that was a bit scary, and I'll quickly tell you about that. So I was working in the craft room with Amber late on Saturday night and heard a crash bang and somebody calling out, and our son had actually fallen down the stairs. He fell down the last few stairs and injured his back, and we were very, very worried, trying to work out if we're going to call an ambulance. So I'm like, don't move, stay still. Anyway, yeah, he'd fallen down about the last 3 or 4 stairs. He had socks on, brand new socks that were a bit slippery, and just lost his footing. And we have timber stairs, so there's no padding and we have tiled floor at the bottom. So thankfully he didn't hit his head, which was good, because that would have been definitely an ambulance call. But my daughter and I have our first aid, well actually my first aid certificate has lapsed, but my daughter just got hers recently. So we're doing all the assessments and checking him and everything. And yeah, he was in a lot of pain. So it was very scary. Thankfully didn't hit his head. He still had feeling everywhere in his extremities. So that was good. Anyway, long story short, he's okay, but he banged up his knee and he's hurt his foot, which the pain in the foot he didn't feel that till the next day, because I think the back was the more serious issue at the time, and that's what we were all focusing on, worried about and because I have a back injury, so I know what it is to have a back injury, and I just thought, oh no, he's too young. Please don't let him have a back injury. But he seems okay. So yeah, but the foot is a problem at the moment. So we're just monitoring that and seeing if he's going to need to go and get x-rays for that. He couldn't put his shoes on properly this morning and things. So yeah, so he must have hit his foot and his knee on the way down too. Got a whopper great big bruise on his opposite knee to the foot. So I don't know. Anyway, he landed on the tiles. Thankfully didn't hit his head. So yeah, so that was all a bit scary. Anyway, thankfully he's okay. No concussion or anything like that. Just a bit of a sore back and a little bit of a graze. Only a small amount of bruising, which is amazing considering he had a great big bright red patch across his back. Anyway, so Sunday we had a games day. which was lots of fun. Well, games afternoon actually. We had a lovely lunch out on the alfresco. So we haven't used the alfresco for ages. So my husband cleaned the alfresco up, and you know, we don't really sit out there during the winter. So it was all dusty and dirty and gross. So he cleaned it all up, made it all beautiful, and we sat out there and had our lunch, which was lovely. It was a beautiful temperature, beautiful weather. And then we had some, and we even took Callie out there and we put out her little wire pen. And she loved it out there, put her little bed in there and her water and her food and everything. And she loved being out there with us. We don't do that very often, but now the weather's warming up, we'll be able to do it a bit more. And then we had games afternoon. So we had, you might have seen, I did post up photos of Monopoly, and Megan just asked me about that a moment ago. So my son is a Monopoly king, and he always wins at Monopoly, but he's very good at doing deals as well with Monopoly. So us girls dug our heels in this time and we said no deals. I was very close to taking it at one point because I was really considering it for a while. But in the end I thought, no, let's just see what happens if we don't do any deals. Anyway, we ended up in a stalemate. Nobody really won because nobody had a full set, so nobody could purchase the properties and, you know, all that sort of thing. So then at the end we tallied up all of our cash and our properties that we owned, and we had properties but we couldn't get the cottages and castles, and turned out that Amber actually had the most in assets, so we deemed her as the winner. Nobody went bankrupt or anything like that, but we played for hours. I lost track of how many hours. And then after that we played another game called Sequence, which is a combination of a card game and I don't know, it's kind of like Connect 4, although it was 5. You had to get 5 in a row, but you had cards and you had to put, and there was a coordinating board and you had to put the token. It's like a combination of a few different games. It was really fun, but you really had to think. And yeah, we played a couple of games of that as well. So yeah. Amber said she's glad that her Monopoly win is on record now. Yes, because it's really hard to win Monopoly against Jake. He's so good. He's really, really good at it. Oh, thank you, Julie. Yes, it was really scary with him falling down those stairs, and we're thankful. You've seen our stairs and our tiled floor, so you know the danger. We're very thankful that he was okay. Yeah, it was pretty scary. Hi, Kathy. How you going? Great to have you with us. So anyway, yeah, so we had a great time. Then we had some pasta for dinner and garlic bread and, you know, a Italian meal for dinner and some chats, and talked about all of our travel stories, which is pretty funny because every time we go away, we either get injured or sick. And so we were telling Jake's girlfriend about all of the family trips that we've had, and just about every single one of us or multiples of us have been sick or injured every single time. All of our overseas trips, except John's and my New Zealand trip where it was just he and I don't think anything bad happened on that trip. I think we were both well the whole time and no injuries from memory. That was about the only one. So don't take us anywhere. I was in hospital in Hawaii and all sorts of things. Crazy, crazy. Anyway, so she's like, oh my goodness. I'm like, yeah, don't take us on holidays. Oh, anyway, don't really want to travel overseas anymore anyway. I think we'll be staying in our own country from now on. But anyway, so that was our weekend. So it was pretty exciting. So I had lots of sharing with you today, but I guess we should get on to crafting, because that's why you all came here. You didn't come here to hear me talk all day, because I could talk forever. I'm a good talker, in case you didn't already guess that. One other thing I just wanted to remind you of is that I do have a newsletter. If you would like to stay up to date with all the Stampin' Up! News, with my events, I do post some of my projects on there for creative inspiration. You can go to my blog at mandyspapercraftcreations.blogspot.com, and up the top on the right hand side you'll see a newsletter subscribe button. Or you'll see a little image that says newsletter. So you can click on that and that'll take you straight through to my subscribe link for my newsletter. So if you'd like to stay up to date, that would be awesome. Be sure to subscribe to my newsletter. I usually send them out each week. I did miss last week. I had a really full-on week last week, so I apologize to everyone who is subscribed to my newsletter. I managed to get one out to my team. I didn't manage to get, I usually do a team one each week and a general one. I didn't get my general one out, unfortunately, but yeah, sometimes weeks are just like that, aren't they? We just get so busy. All right, what I'll do now is I will tip the camera down onto my desk and we will get started so that I can... Oh, Megan said she can't wait to get back to Hawaii. Yeah, we love Hawaii. We love Maui the best. Maui is our favorite. Don't love Waikiki so much anymore. It's very, very busy now, and for us, it was too busy and a bit too commercialized for us now. John and I went the year after we were married, so 30 years ago, and it was beautiful, but it's really changed now. You get onto the other side of the island though, and it's beautiful over on the other side. But we really loved Maui. Maui was beautiful. So, but I don't know that we'll ever get back there. Yeah, I think we'll be, I don't know, who knows what's in the future. Hey, like, I think these days you can't really plan too far ahead. Yeah, so anyway, all right, well, I'm going to cover up the camera and we'll tip it down onto the desktop and we'll get started, and I'll show you what we're playing with today. So bear with me a moment and I'll get this all ready for you. Okay, here we go. Oh, I forgot to undo that clamp. I need to undo both of them. There we go. I'll tighten them back up. Straighten up. Here we go. And adjust the lighting. Oh, so remember I said, those of you that have watched me or do watch me frequently might know that sometimes I mention about getting an extra set of lights for my desk for, because these ones I've got are from IKEA, so I can adjust them. And a few times I've said that I might get another set of them so that I don't have to keep adjusting these ones all the time. I decided that I'm probably not going to do that because it would take up, I'd probably have to mount them on the side of my desk, and I don't know that I've got the room for them. So I don't know, I might down the track, but at the moment I'm just holding off because we've been ordering some other things from IKEA, but yeah, I'm holding off on the lights, so I'll just keep adjusting these ones. All right, my live video broadcast has paused, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this up on my computer instead, because those because I can't actually see what you're seeing. Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. All right, I'll just move that keyboard out of the way. There we go. Okay, great. Now I can see on my computer what you are seeing, and I think everything looks pretty straight. I'll just move these over for you so that you can see them. All right, so any of the products that I'm showing you today, if you are looking for them, or if you're looking for the clearance rack that I mentioned earlier, you can find my online store two ways. Sorry, I'll just get these moved over a little bit further for you. You can either go to my blog, which I mentioned before, at mandyspapercraftcreations.blogspot.com, and you'll see a shop button up the top on the left-hand side, or you can go to my website, which is mandywitherby.stampinup.net. So you can go to either place to find them. To find my online store. I'm just going to tip that a little bit. That's at a really weird angle. There we go. And yeah, so you'll be able to find them there. And if you are shopping with me, be sure to use my host code, which is this one here. And you'll pop that in before you go through to the register. It'll be, you'll see where to put it just above where you have your list of products. So if you go to your cart and you'll see your list of products, you just put the host code in above there. And then that way, any orders over $50, when they use the host code, receive a thank you gift from me. Okay, my camera is now crooked. Sorry. Okay, and I've also not got my volume switched off. There we go. Just realized you were hearing me in stereo a little bit there. You don't need to hear me in stereo. All right, we are playing with some product today from the mini catalog. So this is the July to December 2021 mini catalog. Move that up a little bit so you can see that. And we are going to be playing with the gorgeous Whimsy and Wonder products. So this is a whole suite of products, a Whimsy and Wonder suite. And I just realized you can't even see that page, so I'll just move that over a little bit. And there are so many products in this suite. Now, if you love all of the products, usually you can order all of them using one code down here, which is the suite collection for all of the products. However, because the ribbon at the moment is out of stock, you can't get the whole collection. You just have to order the other products in individually, because the ribbon isn't available as part of the bundle. So they have the bundle code turned off at the moment. But the Whimsical Trees stamp set and the coordinating dies, which are the Christmas tree dies, you can purchase them together as a bundle. They're available, and you can save 10% if you purchase them together. You can purchase them individually, but then you won't get your discount. You won't get your 10% discount. So it's always good to order products that coordinate as a bundle and that are available as a bundle. It's good to order them as a bundle and save yourself some money. There's also the beautiful wonderful snowflakes, which we're going to be using today, and these are large iridescent snowflakes, and the gorgeous Whimsy and Wonder Designer Series paper, which I'm about to show you. If you turn over the page, oh no, actually it's not over the page. No, it's not over the page. We just have the stamped images here. So what we're going to be doing today is we are actually going to be casing this card here. However, I'm changing it up. So you know that when I case any projects, I always like to change it up. And sometimes I do case things exactly, but usually I like to change them up a little bit and make them my own. So we're going to be doing this one, but changing it up. So let me show you. I want to show you first of all the beautiful Designer Series paper. So the Whimsy and Wonder paper, because it's really hard to, I mean, you can sort of see in the catalogue how beautiful they are, but when you see them in person, you just see really how gorgeous they are. So they are so beautiful. They've got this silver foil through them, and they're just so sparkly and shiny and pretty, and I love the colors in them. So the colors we've got in this set are Blushing Bride, Crumb Cake, Mint Macaron, Misty Moonlight, Mossy Meadow, and Polished Pink. So there you go. Aren't they gorgeous? So shiny and shimmery. So these are a specialty Designer Series paper because they've got that silver foil through them. So that's one side of the papers. Let's move them over a little bit so you can see this last one, this beautiful, it's like a candy stripe, but it's in the iridescent. In fact, it's silver, but, oh, no worries, Robin. But when you, yeah, it's sort of got like iridescent, so it's like rainbow colors when you move that. I think you can see that on camera. Then on the other side, we've got, there's no metallic on this side. These are just plain flat designs, but you've got these beautiful textures, and some of these, oh, I've got the little trees upside down, but that's okay. Some of these would be great just for any day cards. Like, they don't have to be for Christmas. Like this one, this one, this one. I love this one. Look at this. How gorgeous is that? You could use that for any occasion. Doesn't have to be for Christmas. This one has got holly leaves on it, but I reckon you could still get away with using that at other times of the year. This one, of course, can be used any time of the year. This one has Christmas trees on it, so but you could use that for a wintry scene as well. Sorry, they're upside down. So yeah, so that's the beautiful paper. Yeah, they're really, really gorgeous. And of course this one here, I think this one is my favorite one. You could use this one for any occasion. It's gorgeous. Hopefully the lights are picking up how beautiful that is. Yeah, see that beautiful color in that paper? Isn't that beautiful? All right, so that's the paper. We've got the stamp set and the dies. Now the dies, it's a large set of dies. There's 13 dies in here, but they're really large. So you've got 2 sheets. So when you open up your packet, you'll see, actually I'll put the packet over to the side. You'll see that you've actually got 2 sheets of dies there. Now the dies, oh, my iPad has completely frozen. Silly iPad. It's always doing this to me when I'm filming live. Thankfully, I've got it up on my computer as well today, because it's just, my iPad is just not happy. For some reason, it's just not coping very well lately with Facebook Lives for some reason. And I don't know why it's doing that. There we go. Okay, it's back. Move these up a little bit. I keep putting everything a little bit too low. You know why? Because I've got this down too low. There we go. If I put that up there, then I'll be able to see that we've got that extra space there. Yeah, so the dies coordinate with the stamped images, as well as you've got additional dies in here as well. So you've got some embellishments and little baubles and stars, some tinsel, and there's a large tinsel over this side, extra little skinny trees, these ones here, and yeah, and this tree here, the cutout tree. So aren't they cool? So beautiful. So that's the bundle. And then we've got the beautiful snowflakes as well. And these snowflakes, whoops, hang on a minute, there we go. These are the wonderful snowflakes, and you get 24 in the packet. I'll just open them and show you, because we're going to be using one of these today too. So there's tissue paper, hang on, let me put these to the side. There's tissue paper in between each sheet just to protect them, because they're quite delicate. But you've got this beautiful pearlescent, I've taken one out already there, this beautiful pearlescent finish on them, which hopefully the camera can pick that up. And these just pop out. So have I already got one popped out for today's project? Yes, I think there's already one in my kit. And they're quite delicate though, so you just pop them out really carefully. And they're not adhesive backed, so you do need to glue them. But yeah, they're really beautiful. I'll pop that tissue paper back on the top to protect them. And the ribbon, I'll show you the ribbon. It's currently not available, but hopefully it will come back in. We're just not sure when at the moment. But this is the beautiful ribbon. It's Blushing Bride, and it's a frayed grosgrain ribbon. And you can actually fray this ribbon too. So I pulled a piece out and started a frayed piece just to show you. So you can pull this, whoops, you can pull this bit out like this. That's if you like this look, or you can just use it as it is. And then these little pieces here, you can use them as an accent on your project. So a lot of people have been using them as like extra trim on their project, and you can do all sorts of things with that. So there's a couple of different ways that you can use the ribbon. And it's got this beautiful roughed up frayed edge, which it's stitched so that the edges won't fray any further. It's only if you pull this end bit that you can get it to fray from the edges there. So isn't that cool? And that makes really beautiful trim. So yeah, which we're not using this today, but I just wanted to show you. Now hang on a minute, I'm just going to cut off this big frayed bit that I just pulled out. And I guess you could find a use for this too. This is sort of this piece is sort of in a zigzaggy pattern now, because we've taken it out of the roll. I'm sure, I haven't seen anyone use this part of it yet, but I'm sure somebody will. Somebody will find a way of using this zigzaggy part too. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, so it's really beautiful ribbon. So watch out for that one, because that one hopefully it will come back in stock at some point. We're just not sure when at this stage. So I'll wrap that back around my roll. There we go. All right, so let's take another look. I'm going to open up my catalogue, and I'm going to keep that open to that page so that I've got my photo there, my picture there as a reference, even though my card is going to be a little bit different, but I'm going to keep that open at that page. All right, so that's page 24 if you're looking at your mini catalogue. Now, if you don't already have a mini catalogue and you don't have an annual catalogue and you would like a copy of our current catalogues, if you're here in Australia and you don't already have a demonstrator, let me know, because I would love to get catalogues out to you. I do have them on my blog. There's PDF versions on my blog that you can look at. But if you would like a paper copy, And if you're like me, you like putting all your little tabs in the top and marking all your favorite items, then let me know and I'd love to get a catalogue out to you. Okay, so here's all of our pieces. Now, this is the project I was going to create with you last week when I wasn't well, and I had to pull out from holding my live at the very last minute because I was thinking I can do it, and then at the last minute I'm like, no, I really can't. I'm really not. I'm really not okay. But this is the project we were going to do last week, so I'm hoping I remember how I was going to put this together because it was a whole week ago and I've made lots of other projects since then. So I'm just pulling out all of my inks. So today we're going to be using Polished Pink, Misty Moonlight, and this one is Blushing Bride, but my labels on my Blushing Bride have actually faded. So it's not actually that color. But they're the 3 color inks that we're going to be using. We are using the I don't know what you call that, like the whimsical tree. And then we've got the polka dots as well, which look like, they look like baubles on the tree. So we're going to be stamping that, and then we're stamping that one over the top. And then the sentiment I'm using is wishing you Christmas cheer and magical moments that last all year. Isn't that a beautiful sentiment? Really beautiful. So they're the stamps that we're going to be using. So if you're looking at your stamp set, it's this one, and this little sentiment here. Okay. All right, I've got some bling here as well. So we've got some bling to choose from at the end. So we'll come back to that. And, oh, actually, I'll leave that out. And we're going to be using some of the dies. All right, so here's all my pieces. And we've already pre-die cut the little baubles and the little stars. But I needed a few extra ones as well. So I'll show you those ones. Okay. So where's my picture for reference, because I've got so many pieces here. All right, I don't have any of the measurements for you today, so I'm just going to put this card together and you can watch how I do that. If you would like the measurements, let me know. Get in contact with me and I can certainly get them to you. Oh, Amber said the zigzag of the frayed ribbon looks a bit like the sketchy tree. Oh, it does actually. Yeah, I wonder if you could use it like tinsel to decorate the tree. That zigzaggy piece. That could be a good idea. Trying to stick it down might be interesting though. I wonder what you'd use to stick it down. You'd need to use some sort of glue that doesn't stay tacky, because our multi-purpose liquid glue stays tacky. So you probably wouldn't be able to use that if you're putting that on the front. But there'd be some way. I reckon someone will work out how to do it. And now that you've said it, Amber, you watch, somebody will do it. Amber always comes up with all these brilliant ideas that she voices, and then somebody ends up creating what her idea is. It's like people can hear what she thinks. All right. So I'm using a base of Misty Moonlight. So this is just your standard card base. So it's half of an A4 sheet. Okay. And then we've got some of this beautiful designer series paper here. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere these pieces to the back of this like that, just so we've got a little bit top and bottom. So I'm going to do that first. Let me bring in, and there's one of our snowflakes. So I'm going to pop the snowflake over to the side. We'll use that in a little while. I'm going to do this part first, and then we'll do all the die cutting and everything. So to do this, I'm going to use a little bit of liquid glue. And I'm just going to, so I've just got these 3 pieces. So you'll notice these 2 pieces of the candy cane stripe in that beautiful iridescent color. They're the same length, same width, but they're shorter than this piece. But I'm going to try and line them up in the middle so they look like they're behind it. But I'm not wasting a whole piece of this paper. I've just done a little strip. So hang on a minute, I've got to clean the tip of my glue. Oh, seal could work, maybe, Megan. Yeah, for that, the sketchy ribbon. Okay, there we go. So I'll put some of this along. I'm just using the multi-purpose liquid glue, and that'll give me a chance just to get that into position. So I'll lay that down, and just, how much do we want? We want about half of that showing, about there. You can have as much as you want, I suppose. We'll move that over a little bit. Does that look like it's, whoops. Let's line that up with the top of my silicone craft sheet. So I'm using the silicone craft sheet so that I can, if I get a bit of excess glue, it's not going to stick on there. That looks pretty good. All right, let's do the same with the other one. Now make sure, yeah, the lines do go the same way. I was just double checking that the lines go the same way. They do, so it's all good. So I was going to say make sure you've got the lines going in the same direction, but they do anyway. So I'll pop that down, and then I'll just put that piece over the top. So I'm just trying to make sure that I've got the same amount showing at the top and the bottom, and hopefully they look like they're lined up so that it looks like you've actually got a whole piece behind there, but you all know that we don't. We've only got a little strip, just to save on paper. We don't want to waste a whole sheet of that beautiful paper, and that's not even in the middle. Move that over a little bit. Gently slide that over. That looks a bit better. There we go. I mean, you can use a ruler if you want to make sure that it's absolutely lined up. I'm not really too fussed. We're going to be putting a lot of extra things on top of this anyway, so it's probably not even going to be that noticeable if that's not quite lined up. But yeah, that's the first step. Okay. Now, just checking, yes, and then that gets adhered down onto the card. Now Amber, my daughter, who's actually here, she was helping me design this last week. Oh, what did she say? Or maybe the tree could be created by sticking the ribbon to adhesive sheet on a die cut triangle. Ooh, that's a good idea. Yeah. Yeah, that might work too. Yeah, good idea. Yes, so if Amber calls out any steps, or she'll remind me if I miss any steps while I'm doing this, because she was helping me to design this one last week when we were looking at, because I said, oh, I really like that card in the catalogue, but I want to change it up. And so she was helping me with it, and she's a great designer. We love collaborating on projects together, Amber and I. All right, so I'm going to adhere this piece down to my card. And as I said, it was a week ago that we were designing this, so I'm hoping that I'm remembering all of the steps in the right order. But anyway, if I do it a little bit different, it doesn't really matter, does it? Because we're still creating. Okay, so we're going to pop this down onto our base, and we're going to pop it down a little bit down from the top, but not in the center. We don't want it in the center. I mean, we don't want it directly in the middle. We want it down a little bit from the top, and we want a lot of space at the bottom. So we're going about there, I think. About there should be good. And I'm just making sure that I've got that lined up side to side so that we've got even border on both sides. There we go. Okay, so that's adhered down. All right, so I've already got my, we should do some stamping. We should do the stamping next, and then after that we'll do all the die cutting. All right, so that's our base ready to go. So we'll pop that over to the side, and we've got that piece and that piece there. All right, so we've got our sentiment piece. We've got, we're going to punch that one. We're going to stamp on this one and on this one. And what was the little blue piece for? I can't remember what that, oh, I remember. That's for the stars, for the baubles, and that one's for the stars. So we need to save those for die cutting, and we're going to punch that one, and that one is for die cutting as well. Okay, oops, and that piece, we'll put that over there too. All right, let's start with the sentiment. That's the easiest part, easiest place to start. So I'm using polished pink for the sentiment. Now we're going to be stamping an oval, punching an oval. So I'm going to turn that around. It's got a little mark on there, but that's okay. We'll avoid that little mark. So I'll just dab, 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 or tap, tap, tap. Stamp this into, actually, let me just double check how this is going to feed into the punch to make sure I'm stamping it where it's going to reach. All right, let's do it down towards the bottom a little bit to make sure that it's going to fit into the punch. There we go. Alrighty, and I might clean this one up straight away because I've used that deep pigment ink, because the polished pink is quite a dark colour, and so I don't want that to stain my stamps. Made that mistake a couple of weeks ago. I used one of the really bright, I can't remember if it was a red or a bright pink, and I let it sit on my stamps for a while because I got distracted doing other things, and my stamp got a little bit stained. So good idea to clean your stamp straight away if you can. All right, so now I'm going to take the double oval punch and I'm going to punch that sentiment. So I like to turn it upside down so I can see where I'm punching. And we're just going to punch that sentiment there with the plain oval. There we go. Bit of a loud noise there. Sorry for anyone who may have had headphones in. So there we've got our sentiment. And now we've got a little scrap here of the polished pink cardstock, and I'm going to punch the scalloped oval out of that piece. I'll go this way. There we go. Okay, so I'll just close that down and lock that, and that will make that sit nice and flat. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to adhere the label onto the scalloped oval. So I'll use a little bit of Tombow again. Hey Nola, how are you? Great to have you here. You found me. That's awesome. Well done. There we go. All right, and then we'll just pop that down. I like using the multi-purpose liquid glue when I'm doing sentiments like this that layer onto another label, because it does give you that little wiggle time to just maneuver that around to get that lined up where you want it. There we go. And then you can press that down firmly. Okay, so that's our sentiment done. That was nice and easy. Good, good, good. We'll pop that over to the side. That piece is ready to go. All right, now we have got two trees here. Now one of them is going to be, I can't remember which one was which now. Let me just have a look here. Yeah, I didn't write it down. I actually didn't have it written down. I don't think I wrote it down anywhere here. No, I didn't. Okay, so we're going to, one of them is going to be, I can't remember which one was which. Let's see. One of these was going to be the big tree. Oh, I think it's this one, the white one. Yeah, the white one, because we've got a stamp onto that. And this one, I think, was the die cut for the, oh, that's the tinsel. Thank you, Amber. This one is the tinsel for the, this one's going to be the die cut tinsel for the other tree, the green tree. That's right. I was thinking, I can't remember, were we going to do something else with that one? Thank you for reminding me. Okay, so we are using, oh, we've got Helen here watching from New Zealand. Hi, Helen. Thank you for joining us. It's great to have you along with us. Oh, and Danielle's jumped on as well. Hi, Danielle. How are you? Didn't see you jump on just then. Great to have you with us. Is there anybody else I missed? I'm just scrolling back up. I think I said hello to Kathy before, I'm pretty sure. I think that's all. Yeah, okay. I think I got everyone now. Good, good, good. I was so busy crafting, I wasn't checking my comments. All right, so we are going to use the Blushing Bride for the tree. So we'll just go tap, tap, tap. I'm just going to turn my ink pad around to make sure I get maximum amount of ink on my pad on my stamp. Now what you can do too, if you've got a large stamp like this, you can hold your ink pad and take it upside down and tap that onto your stamp. And then that way you know that you get full coverage, and then you can see where your ink is. So this is just a piece of basic white. And we're just going to stamp this tree. I'll do it down here because we're going to die cut it anyway. So I'll do it down towards here. And just give that a nice firm press. There we go. And then we've got our beautiful tree. Now that'll lighten up a little bit as that ink dries. Now we'll just ink this off. And I'll give that a clean. Then we're going to stamp some little baubles on the tree in Misty Moonlight. So I'll just give the other tree stamp a clean first. There we go. Okay, I'll leave my Simply Chamois just here ready. All right, so Misty Moonlight, and we're going to use the spotty, bauble-y. I think you could even use this as, I mean, it is in the shape of the tree, but I think you could even use this as snow perhaps too. All right, so then we're just going to line that up over our tree and stamp our baubles. Beautiful. There you go. Now, if you don't like them that dark, you can, I have actually done them quite dark. I think maybe on the sample they might have stamped them off first and then stamp them on there. But you could do that if you wanted to. You could just stamp them off on some scrap paper first if you thought the colour was a bit too dark, and then stamp the baubles. But that's okay. All right. So we'll clean that one off. There we go. That's nice and clean. Okay, so we are ready now to do a bit of die cutting. So we're going to die cut this tree. We're going to die cut some another tree out of this one. We're going to die cut the tinsel. With this one, we are die cutting the additional tree, I think that one was. And then we've got our baubles and our stars for this one. So I'm going to bring in my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Oh, that's good, Danielle. Glad to hear that you are good. Awesome. Okay, so this is our mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. If you haven't seen this before, I'll show it to you. I'll fold it up and show you from scratch. So this mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine is a great little machine. It's nice and compact, lightweight. You can travel well with this one as well if you like to travel, or if you like to take your own die cutting machine to crops and card making classes or whatever, you can take this one easily along with you. It's got rubber feet on the bottom. Now, because there's not a lot of weight in it, sometimes you do need to give it a bit more support as well, and you do have the carry handle or support handle. So always hold on to that when you're die cutting. And then the sides of the machine fold down as like a feeding surface. Okay, you've got your plates that come with it. So we've got plate 1, which is our base plate, and then 2 of the clear plates. Not that mine are very clear now, because you can see they are very well loved. You can buy replacement plates for this as well. So if these get too cut up and they become really warped over time, you can buy replacement plates. They are considered a consumable product because over time they will need to be replaced. And they're quite inexpensive, these clear acrylic plates. There is also an embossing plate that comes with it as well, which is a grey plate for the embossing folders. Now this machine only has a small feeding mouth, so it will take a lot of our dies, and there are special embossing folders that are made to fit this machine. However, we have a big machine as well, and some of our embossing folders will only fit through the big machine, and some of our larger dies as well. But with the dies for the Whimsy and Wonder suite, they will actually fit through the mini machine, which is awesome. I love having this one on my desk because it's so compact and it's lightweight, and so it's easy to move around. All right, so first of all, we are going to cut out our tree. So we need our tree die. So I'll take that one off. We're also going to be, actually, we'll do that one first. Let's just do one at a time. Okay, So we're going to put, I'll just move that up a little bit. We're going to put we've got our base plate, our number 1 plate. We've got one of the number 2 clear plates, and then our cardstock. I'll just turn it around a little bit this way so you can see it on camera, because I've got my laptop in the way today. Normally I have it pushed up a bit further, but my laptop's there today. And then we're going to put our die with the cutting surface down. So when you see your dies, you'll see one side has got like a little edge. That's actually the cutting surface. The other side is very smooth. Okay, the smooth side is not the cutting edge. So you want to put the cutting edge face down, smooth side face up. Okay, so we're just going to line that up with our tree. If you want to, you can use a little bit of washi tape. Oh, which I didn't grab out, but that's okay. I've got plenty more in front of me, so I can pull out some of my old retired washi tape, and we can use some of that. This is really skinny washi tape, this one. You can just use that washi tape to hold your die in place, just so that it doesn't move when you're die cutting. And the beauty with washi tape is that it removes really easily. You can also use post-it notes as well, or instead of washi tape. They work well as well. All right, and then we're going to put our other clear plate on top, and then we're just going to, I'm going to need to move that because it's going to hit my iPad. There we go. And then we're just going to take that through. Oops. What's happening? There we go. Oops, I haven't got my plates straight. That's what's happening. You need to make sure that your plates are straight going through the machine. Ah, I see what the problem is. I've got my cardstock too close to the edge. So there's a little beveled edge here on the edge of the plate, and I had my paper on there, so it was making it hard for the rollers to grab it. So just make sure that your paper or your cardstock is in from that little beveled edge. So let's try that again. I was thinking, why isn't that grabbing? That's better. There we go. I didn't have that in the right spot. And then we just wind that through. There we go. A little bit of a pop at the end. That's quite normal, so don't worry about that. And there we have our little tree. How cute is that? So cute. Okay, so our tree is done. Now I'll save this washi tape and I'll use that on the next one as well. We won't waste that. I keep using and using and using the washi tape until it absolutely falls apart and I can't use it anymore. All right, so we'll pop that one back on our sheet so that we know where it comes from. I'm going to do the other tall tree now. So this is this really big tall one. And then I'm going to do the tinsel as well. So I'll take, this is the tinsel die for that really tall tree. If I can get it off the double-sided tape, it's a bit sticky. I usually keep my dies on magnetic sheets. So I take them off this cardboard and I put them on magnetic sheets, and it's much easier to get them on and off. But I haven't done that with these dies yet. All right, so same thing again. We'll put our base plate, our number 2 plate. We're going to use some of our designer series paper that was in the paper pack. So we've got this beautiful tree on the back, but we're not going to be using that side, sadly. That's okay. We've got heaps more of this where this came from. We're going to be using the green side. So we're going to put the green side up, and we're going to put our tree die on the top of that. I won't put the washi tape this time because I'm not die cutting a stamped image. I'm just die cutting paper. So I don't really feel that I need it. So long as that die is still on the paper and it's not off the edge, it's all good. All right, so my machine's slipping around a little bit because I've got it on my host code. Oh, it's stuck to my host code. There we go. All right, so that's our green tree with a beautiful texture on it. How cute is that? Now we're going to make some tinsel for that tree. And we're going to use, I'll just pop that one over to the side. So we'll put our plates back in. And this time I'm using some shimmery white cardstock. I've also got some silver, I think, I can't remember, was the, Amber, just remind me, was the silver, were we going to cut that additional cutout tree with that, or I think I was deciding, wasn't I, if I was going to have the shimmery tinsel or the silver tinsel. I think that's what I decided. I asked Amber to cut me a piece of both because I think I said, cut me both and then I'll decide on the day which one I want to use as to whether or not I want to use the silver or the shimmer. Is that what I said, Amber? Just remind me. I think that's what I said. But as I said, everyone, it was a week ago. I barely remember yesterday, let alone a week ago. Too much happening. There we go. All right. The silver was if the shimmery tinsel didn't look good. Okay, yeah, I thought so. All right, so here's our shimmery tinsel. So let's just remove that from. Now, you have to be a little bit careful with this because it is a little bit delicate how it's, so you just need to lift that off carefully. And because my plate has been well used and because it's got so many cuts in the plate, my tinsel is wanting to actually stick in those little cut pieces. So we'll just, there we go. All right. So let's have a look and see what the shimmery white looks like on there. Might even need to trim some of that off actually. Oh no, I just didn't have it. I had it stretched out. There we go. I might cut a piece of the silver as well, and then we can decide when we're putting it together. I think that's a good idea. All right, so the silver cardstock, just to let you know, in the mini catalogue, there is a pack of 3 different textures of silver cardstock. Now, I don't have that pack. This is actually the old silver cardstock that is no longer available, but one of the textures of the silver cardstock in that pack is very similar to this. So if you don't have any of the old silver cardstock or silver foil cardstock, there is some available in the mini catalogue, which is very similar, but it's got the 3 textures, which I think is pretty cool. I just haven't purchased that yet. There we go. All right, so let's see. Oh, that looks nice. Whoa. Okay, so we have to lift this off carefully. I'm just putting my nail in under the edge there just to lift that off. And that's the silver. Let's have a look how that would look on the tree. So that was the white, that's the silver. Yeah, I think we might need to see once we put it down. The silver might be a bit too much, maybe. So, yeah. We'll see. We'll see when we go to put it together. Oh, Judy's back. She's just finished mowing the lawn. She'd forgotten how hard lawn mowing is. Oh, you need a new lawnmower, Judy. Oh my goodness. She says she's exhausted now after mowing the lawn. Oh, well done, Judy. Wow, I don't think I could push a mower along, I have to say. Oh, Megan said that she used her plates so much that they ended up cracking. Wow, they must have been very well loved, Megan. I've never ever had one that's cracked actually. But yeah, I guess if you're using it a lot, it could happen over time. Thankfully, we can purchase more. We can purchase new ones. So that's good. All right, so let's do our baubles and our stars, and we can do them together. So we've got our little baubles and our little stars. So we're going to do little stars in polished pink, and the baubles are in the Misty Moonlight. I will use the washi tape just to hold them on because they're only small pieces and I don't want them to move. Oops. There we go. Oh, there, that moved anyway, didn't it? Let me redo that. Didn't stick that down very well, did I? And in fact, you know what? These are straight edge dies. So when you have a straight edge die, it's always good to put them in at an angle. So I'm actually going to turn these around a little bit. They feed through a lot better. and that way you don't get that big speed bump when they're going through. There we go. Okay, so I've got those a little bit at an angle. See how I've got them on an angle on the plate? Sorry, I'm working almost off camera now. All right, we'll do the same again. Put the clear plate on the top and through they go. There we go. All right, I think that's all about die cutting. So we can move our die cutter away now. Okay, so there's all our little stars. Look how cute they are. And our little baubles. Look at that. They're so tiny. These little stars would be great for lots of different projects, actually. All right, so make sure that you put your little dies straight back on your die sheet so you don't lose them, because they are super tiny and they'll be easily lost. Oh, in fact, I've put them in the wrong spot. I think that one went there. Doesn't really matter. I think this one will actually fit better up here anyway. It's a narrower spot. There we go. I'll have to get these ones onto my magnetic sheets. Okay. Now, let's pop all of those scraps to the side. There we go. And I'll add my baubles and my stars to my packet because we didn't have quite enough with my first pass through. So I'll just add these. Now we do have, in the Take Your Pick tool, if you have a Take Your Pick tool, this is a great tool. It's a multi-purpose tool and you can use it for lots of different things. So we have a putty end that you can use to pick up small items like this. So you can use the putty end to pick them up and pop them into the bag. And we do have replacement heads for the putty because the putty head only has a small amount of putty in it. And as that putty becomes unsticky, because it picks up lint and it picks up oils if you're touching it and things like that, you just take that little bit off the end and then you screw it up. You screw the end up just a little bit till a bit more putty comes out and then just release the tension on it. Otherwise it will keep coming out. But yeah, these putty heads, they actually unscrew and you can buy a replacement in them because the putty is just stored in that top part there. And you screw that back in. There's also a die brush attachment that attaches into this end too, so you can take that one out and attach the die brush attachment. You might have seen me use the die brush. The other end, that's the paper piercing tool, or my pokey tool I like to call it, and I use that one all the time. And then this just twists and comes out. But I was going to show you the spatula end. Now my spatula end is a little bit sticky at the moment because I used it to unstick some layers that I'd accidentally stuck in the wrong place. But what I was going to show you is you can actually use it to lift up these little pieces like this off your mat too if they stick a little bit onto your cutting mat, and then just pop them into the bag like so. But yeah, this little spatula end is really good. Also too, I found out on the weekend, I hadn't thought to do this, if you're using the soft pastels like I showed you earlier at the beginning, if you need to shave any of the chalk off the pastel, you can actually use scissors, which I use, but on the weekend I found out that you can actually use the spatula end. I hadn't thought to do that, and so I tried it on the weekend and it worked so well, and then you haven't got the risk of cutting yourself with scissors, so that works really well for that too. So it's another use for that one. We also have a Stylus tool that attaches into here as well. It has 2 different size balls on it that attaches into this end. So I love this tool. It's the one I reach for the most actually out of all of my tools, apart from my trimmer. My trimmer, of course, that one gets used every day. Okay, right. So let's move our plates out of the way. And I think we've got all of our pieces together. Well, we've got all of our pieces ready to put together. There we go. Okay. So now we are just going to layer everything up. So I'm going to pop down, I'm just going to work out first of all where I'm placing everything before I adhere anything down, just to make sure. I'm adding the snowflake. So in the they've used the 2 trees that I've used, but they've also used the extra tree die, the cutout one, which is this one. I'm not using that one on my project. I'm instead going to use one of those beautiful snowflakes that I just that I showed you earlier. They've also used some of the ribbon trim in the background. I wasn't going to add that either. And I'm using different embellishments. So yeah, so we'll see. Mine will be a little bit different. All right, so first of all, we've got our snowflake there. I think the snowflake needs to go off to the side a little bit. Let's just see. I'll place everything down, see how it's all looking, and then we'll work out where we're going to pop everything. All right, so a sentiment label. Actually, the sentiment label is going to come up on dimensional, so I might pop them on the back now so that I've got that ready. And I'm going to use up some of my edge pieces today because I've got so many sheets of edge pieces at the moment. We need to use them up, not waste them, because they are great for, I like to use the little pieces in between, these little bits here in between. I like to keep them and use them for small items that I'm adhering, or really narrow pieces. There we go. But these other pieces, these bigger ones, they're great for your sentiments. So I'm going to pop a couple of those onto my sentiment. There we go. That should be okay. And then my sentiment label, I was going to pop up here somewhere. Let's see. Oh, we have to work out. Let's try the white first because we've got a lot of white happening here. Or do we want the silver? Whoopsie. Let's see. Do we like the silver? Oh, I do like the silver. The silver gives it a real pop, doesn't it? Now that is stretched out a little bit from me taking it off the backing. What do you think? Silver or white? And then that will go over the top. That will come up a bit. That will go over the top and come down here. And then our sentiment label, I was going to pop up here, or maybe the snowflake can come down a little bit, and I can pop the sentiment here like so. Yeah, like that. And then we're going to add on the little baubles. Oh, the baubles are going to go onto this tree. The stars are going onto this tree, and then we're going to use the wink of Stella on them to glitz them up and add our embellishing. So what do you think? What's everyone thinking? Let me just catch up on some comments here. Oh, hey Jenny, how you going? No worries. Feel free to catch the replay. We're making a beautiful project today. We're casing the mini catalogue, but we are changing it up. Megan says, Mandy, you'll have to do a video to show us how you made the background with the pastels, please. Okay, yep, no worries. I will add that to my list, Megan. Next week, I've got a different project to show you that I've already planned, but perhaps the week after that, I'll be able to show you. So, let's see. Scrolling. Oh, Jenny likes the silver. Megan likes the silver. Awesome. Okay, cool. All right, I'll do the silver. So what we'll do is we'll adhere that first. I'll keep the white for a different project. It's like a spring. It's almost like a spring. It's like really stretchy, but you've got to be careful not to overstretch it because otherwise it's too long for the tree. So that's what it's going to look like. Plus we'll add all the additional little bits. So let's just adhere this first. And to do that, I'm going to do my sponging technique. So what you could do is if you had the adhesive sheets, you could put the adhesive sheets on the back of some foil cardstock before die cutting this. And then once it die cuts, you remove the backing paper and that would be like a sticker. You could just stick it straight on. If I had thought about it ahead of time, I should have probably done that. But I didn't think about it. So I'm going to do my glue sponging technique. So I'll show you how to do that. You've probably seen me do it lots of times if you watch me frequently. So just taking a little bit of our Tombow glue, I'm going to put it up here. If you're actually looking for this glue, you'll find it under adhesives in my online store, and it's actually called multi-purpose liquid glue. A lot of us call it Tombow glue because Tombow is actually the brand, or some people even call it green glue because of the green lids on it. I've got a little quarter sponge that I keep in a container specially just for glue, and I just use a little bit of that to dab the glue. You don't want too much. Now the trick is you've got to try and hold this piece still so that it doesn't move and you don't get glue on the front side of it. So we're going to dab this along the die piece, and this one is really hard to keep still because maybe I should do half at a time because it's so springy because of the design of it. There we go. So I've got one side done. Oh, I moved it. Oh, let's hope I didn't get too much glue on the front portion. I mean, you could use also our fine tip glue pen. If you have the fine tip glue pen, you could use that as well. There we go. All right. I might just lift it up off the, and because it's metallic, you kind of don't really want to get glue on the front of it because you can see it with the metallic. Now I'll find a little clean spot on here, and oh, this is sticking to my fingers now. Oh no, don't rip, don't rip, don't rip, don't rip. Ugh, I think the adhesive sheets are definitely the way to go. I'll do that next time when I make another one of these. So I didn't have, this is the first time I've made this one. I didn't make a sample before I started, which probably would have been a good idea if I had have. All right, so I'm going to start up the top with my tinsely bit at the top. Hang on a minute. I might get my Take Your Pick tool actually and use that to help me. I'm just trying to change the, the head of it one-handed. There we go. Oh, look how skilled I am. I can do it. I can do it. Yay! There we go. Look, I changed it one-handed. There we go. All right. So let's slide that up. There we go. Alrighty. So we'll get this laid down across the tree. My Take Your Pick tool is being very handy for this actually. That's really helping to get that laid down. There we go. Now, got to be careful. Oh, don't want to get it in that glue. Got to make sure that this isn't stretched out too far. So what I'll do is I'll lift up this bottom section here. There we go. Definitely would have been easier with the adhesive because my fingers are now sticky with glue too, so it's wanting to stick to my fingers. And I'll just try and push that up a little bit so I can get this bit in here. There we go. Okay. And stretch that up a little bit. Oh. There we go. Did it. Yay. And I'll get my baby wipes out now and clean my hands because my hands are super sticky. Oh, that was close. There we go. All right, let's stick that on. I found a non-sticky part of my hand. The side of my hand isn't sticky. All right, I'll just clean my hands off. That was a little bit messy. All right, definitely use the fine tip glue or the adhesive sheets. I mean, that worked, but you could see it was just a little bit messy. But we got there. We got there in the end, so all good. All right, get this glue off my fingers so I don't put that everywhere. As you could see, the Tombow glue is, or multi-purpose liquid glue, is super sticky. So it does hold really, really well. Oops, there we go. Okay, so I'll just give that another press now that my hands are clean. Just give that another press, make sure that adhered onto there. All right, so there are a few little glue spots on there that are noticeable on the front, but that's okay because we're going to be putting on the little baubles, so you can always hide those little bits with some of those baubles. Yeah, so that's not a problem. I'm not worried about that. All right, Okay. Oh, Judy's got a good tip here. Keep a spray bottle of water or a sponge with water on it so you can wet your fingers to stop sticking to your fingers. Ah, I do this with face painting using sticky gems or sequins. Oh, thanks for that tip, Judy. That's awesome. That's a really good tip. I'll have to try and remember that. Okay, so now we are ready to start adhering all of these pieces. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to start with adhering our snowflake. And to do that, I'm going to just use directly use the glue to the back of the snowflake. Just trying to squeeze that gently so that it doesn't come out too fast. There we go. There we go. And I'll just pop a few little bits here and there. We don't want too much because we don't want it to ooze. Just carefully putting little bits of glue along some of these stems of my snowflake. There we go, that'll do. Alrighty, and we'll pop that down. Where did I have that? About here-ish? Is that where I had it? Somewhere there like that, wasn't it? Let's just see before I stick everything else down. I'll just make sure I've got that in the right spot. Oops, there and that there. Yep, that's about right. Just slide it over just a fraction. There we go. Okay, great. All right, now this tree is going to be stuck flat, so I'll use my multi-purpose liquid glue again. And the other tree is going to be mounted up onto Stampin' Dimension so that we have a bit of dimension on our card. There we go. So we want the tip of this tree almost at the top. Like so. There we go. And then this one is going to be on dimensionals. So we'll use some of those edge pieces again that we cut before. Pop one up here. One over there and one more over there. There we go. I might actually pop another one there in the middle. So I just don't want that bit there to sag. There we go. Good. And now we'll remove all of the backing paper from those. Okay, and we're going to pop this down. Now this, oh, got a piece of dimensional. I think I'm still a little bit sticky. Things are still sticking to me. All right, this one's going to be coming down a little bit lower and overlapping the large tree. So I'll pop that one about there. There we go. Will that be right? Yep, beautiful. And now we'll do our sentiment label. And the sentiment label is going to overlap. And, oh, actually, you know what? I think I put that dimensional a little bit too close, did I? Let's see, where's that dimensional? Yes, I'm going to just move that dimensional over a little bit if I can get it off. No, I'll need to put a new, oh yeah, there we go. I think I did it. Just move that one over a little bit because that is going to overlap the tree there. There we go, like so. And so that dimensional that I had there was just in the way a little bit. There we go. How cute is this? All right, and now we're going to bling it up with our little baubles and stars, and then we're going to add some other bling. So we're going to bling, bling, bling it. It's going to be a very blingy Christmas card. Aren't the colours just beautiful though? I love these colours. So pretty. So non-traditional for Christmas. Now, some people like that. Some people like something different for Christmas. Other people like to stick with tradition and have the tradition colours. We're all different, and that's okay. So our Christmas tree that we have at home, we have a lot of teal on our decorations. Teal and silver is our colour scheme, and a little bit of blue. Not pink though, we don't have pink, but I do love this color scheme. So I'm just turning all my little baubles over. Actually, I probably should keep them up the wrong way because I'm going to need to put some glue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop the glue on the tree where I'm going to put the stars, rather than trying to put the glue on the back of the little tiny star. I'm actually going to add the glue to the tree. So you can add as many or as few as you like, totally up to you how you would like to do them. I'm not even counting how many I'm doing, I'm just adding glue. There we go, so we've got all those little glue dots. So let's put our little pink stars on the tree, and I want them up that way. So we've got one there and one there. Gonna try and see where I've put the glue now. I don't have my glasses on. So see how the little Take Your Pick tool is helping me to pick up those tiny little pieces. They're great for sequins as well. Picking up sequins. Oh, that one might have a bit much glue. That one oozed a little bit. And up here. And all right. And Judy said, so frustrating, keep saying broadcast interrupted. Is anyone else having this issue or just me? It's probably your iPad, Judy. I was having trouble earlier with my iPad, but I've actually got it streaming now on my computer, and it hasn't paused or come up with any notifications at all. But on my iPad it kept freezing on my iPad watching the replay. So maybe if you switch over to your laptop, that might be, you might be able to view it better. There we go. Do you think we need one more over here? Wait, have I got one more? Yeah. Let's put one over here. Megan, what device are you using? Are you on a laptop or a phone or an iPad? Whoops. I have been having that trouble too the last couple of weeks with my iPad, with my Facebook Lives, because I have it running on my on my iPad as well to read the comments. I have been finding that it has been freezing a lot. It's frozen again now on my iPad, but on my laptop watching it back, it's fine. It's seamless. There you go. Megan's on the computer too, Judy. So maybe the issue is the actually the feed on the iPad. I think that's what my problem was too. So now we've got our little baubles. Now I want to do these just a bit more. I won't put as much glue down in one go because I just want to double check where I'm going to put them. I want to space them out a bit. Oops. Oh, that one's got too much glue. That oozed a bit. There we go. Ah, yucky. There we go. Where will we put this next one? Let's see. Let's put one. Should we put one sort of in a little bit? Let's put one in a little bit there. There we go. And I should move it down a little bit, shouldn't I? It should look like it's hanging from, well, I guess it's not really hanging necessarily from the tinsel, is it though? It's hanging on the tree. I think we need to cover up this little gluey bit out here because there's a little bit of a sticky bit from when we put the glue on there before. So we'll cover that up with a bauble. Oh, there we go. And put one down. Oh, I should do the next one down really. Next, shouldn't I? Let's put one over here. There we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We might leave it at 5. I like an uneven number. There we go. Okay, so there we go. We've got lots left over, so we can use them for another project. So I'll pop those up there. All right, now let's use our Wink of Stella. So give that a bit of a shake. So whenever you're using the Wink of Stella, you always need to give it a good shake to mix up that the glitter through the liquid that's in the brush. Just test that first on my, yep, there we go. All right, so I'm just going to glitz up these little stars, make them shiny. So I love that with the glitter brush, we can add extra shimmer. And it's got a really nice soft tip on it. And also too, did you know that you can do watercoloring with this? And when you watercolor with this brush, it adds that shimmer into the watercolor. So you can do watercolor with watercolor pencils, with our classic Stampin ink. What else can you use? Pastels, the soft pastels, you can do watercoloring with those as well. So lots and lots of options. There we go. So they look a little bit dark now because I've just colored them and they're wet, but they will lighten up a little bit. Now, the other thing is too, somebody asked me the other day or a couple of weeks ago about why we only sell Wink of Stella in the clear glitter brush. The reason is because in other markets, the colors that are available don't match our Stampin' Up colors. However, with this clear Wink of Stella brush, you can actually make any color that matches with our range by using our re-inkers. So you can mix a bit of this with some re-inker, and then you can color coordinate with the Stampin' Up color range. So I just wanted to let you know about that. I might do that one day too, just to show you that technique. But yeah, with our little, we can just mix it on one of our clear acrylic blocks or on a palette. Put a few drops of the re-inker, and then use your brush and you squeeze some of the glitter fluid from the brush, and then mix it into the ink refill. Yeah, and then you have the coordinating colors. So there you go. So there's a little tip for you today. Another one. I like giving you lots of tips. All right, so let's bling it up even further with some of our gems we've got here. So I've got some Rhinestone Basic Jewels. Now, currently the Rhinestone Basic Jewels are unavailable. Supplies have run out and they are on back order at the moment. So I think when they're on, let me see, I just double check that. I think they were back ordered. Were they back ordered? Let me double check that. I'll just have a quick looky here on my computer. Yes, they are on back order. So they can still be ordered. They are due in this week actually. So they're due to come into the warehouse this week. So yeah, so you can still order them, but they might just be a little bit delayed in coming to you because they are on back order. Okay. So yeah, I just wanted to let you know that. These other ones are available though at the moment. And so I was just deciding on which ones to use for decorating. I think I'll steer away from the in color gems because they're square ones and I don't feel like they will necessarily go with our design. I don't know. Well, we've got the blue ones there. They might. Let's have a look. We've got the little tiny ones, maybe the tiny ones, but I love too the in color jewels. So we've got all these pretty colors. We've got the beautiful pink ones there too. The pink ones or these fresh freesia color ones, they would go because they've sort of got that light bluey tone. But I was just wanting to look at these ones because we've got the polished pink. Is it polished pink? No, not polished pink. Polished pink and Misty Moonlight. I think that was, no, not polished pink. I can't remember what pink that was. Somebody will remind me. All right, let's have a look and see. All right. Julie said, oh, hi, Tina Marie. Great to have you here. Julie said, might be worth doing just a video on quick ideas and techniques, save you trying to do it all. Yeah, that good idea, Julie. That is a good idea because there are so many different ideas, isn't there? So I'm just thinking about, yeah, no, not those ones. They're not going to work for me, I don't think. What about these ones? So these are a faceted square. Oh, they're cute. Hey, they're exactly the same. They are polished pink. They're exactly the same color as the polished pink cardstock. We could maybe just put a couple of those. You could even put them in a diamond shape. You could put them at an angle rather than straight. I don't know. Let's see. I popped a couple of these down. They look kind of like the stars a little bit, don't they? Maybe we need something a bit more glitzy. Maybe these ones. Let's have a look. I'm thinking maybe these ones. These are sparkly wackly. Oh, yes. I think I like these ones better. They're a bit more sparkly, aren't they? 1, 2, and let's go. Could put it anywhere, couldn't you? Nowhere would be wrong. Let's go here on this little snowflake. There we go. So there is our little card all finished. I think we got everything on there. The only thing, oops, there's one of my little square gems just popped off this little backing sheet. We'll put that back on there. The only thing we didn't use was the ribbon. As I said, the ribbon isn't available at the moment. It's actually non-orderable and we're waiting for stock to come in of that. But instead of using the ribbon, oh look, there's that little gem again. It's on my nail. Oh look, it wants to stay on my nail. Let's just put it on my nail then, hey? Okay, you stay there. There you go. I'll deal with you later. Yes, I used the snowflake instead of the ribbon, but you could certainly use the ribbon. Use some of these. You could use it in whichever way you like. You could use some of the frayed pieces and wrap them around as like a little bit of a nest behind your sentiment label, or you might like to do like a little tag of ribbon like that behind your sentiment label. Lots of different options. So if you do another take on this one, I would love to see it. Make sure you send me a photo. So there you go. So let me just show you how different. So that's the original card there. And that's my version. So quite different, aren't they? So you can see how you can case a card, but if you change it up and make it your own and just change a few different things, it can look quite different. So we changed up the colors, changed up some of the elements and used this paper instead of the holly paper. Used different embellishment. Yeah, it's actually turned out quite different, but it's the same layout. So there you go. All right, I hope you liked that one. Okay, so I'm going to flip the camera back up so I can say goodbye to you. Now, just before I do, remember, here's my host code. I did take that away before because it was getting in the way when I was die cutting. Remember that if you are shopping for any of these products with me in my online store, be sure to use my host code. And all orders over $50 will receive a thank you gift from me. It's my way of saying thank you to you for shopping with me. So I'm just removing that little gem off my fingernail. Yeah, so if you have any questions, be sure to ask me as well. But let me just cover up the camera and I'll flip that back up so that I can say goodbye to you. So bear with me for one moment. Oh, that's a bit squeaky. I had that done up very tightly. Okay. There we go. So just tighten all that back up. Flip my cameras again so that we are around the right way and up the right way. And there we go. Just adjust my lights. There we go. Okay. Oh, I've got my camera a little bit crooked, haven't I? There, that's better. Great. Let's tip it that way a tad. There we go. Great. So there you go. So what do you think? Looks quite different, doesn't it, to the catalogue? Do you like it? It's cute, isn't it? Really pretty. And I love all that bling and shimmer and glitz. I think the Wink of Stella is still a little bit wet, so you probably can't see that shimmering too much yet. But look at all that shimmer. Isn't that beautiful? I love a bit of bling. Every card, I always say every card needs ribbon and bling. Now this one doesn't have any ribbon actually, but we do have the tinsel on the tree. So does that count? That kind of counts, doesn't it? Oh, now one thing I didn't let you know is if you love these products and you love Stampin' Up in general, and you have a big wish list, consider becoming part of my Stampin' Up community, because not only will you get a fantastic discount on all of your Stampin' Up products, a 20% discount, and you can build that up to 25%, you will also be joining a wonderful stamping community, and we have a beautiful group of ladies in my team, and we all just have a great time together. We share our creations, and I give prizes and recognitions and all sorts of things. We get together each month, sometimes more than once a month, and we do lots of fun things together. So it's only $169 to purchase the starter kit, and you can put any of the products that you want in the starter kit. So you could even put any of these products that you wanted in the starter kit, or you might like to put the Stampin' Cut emboss machine in the starter kit. You can put up to $235 worth of product into your starter kit, and you only pay $169, and then Stampin' Up will ship that starter kit to you for free. You don't even get charged shipping on that starter kit, and then from there you'll get that beautiful discount, and you'll be part of our wonderful crafting community. Not only that, we have got lots of exciting things that happen in the Stampin' Up world. We've got demonstrator only events, which are heaps of fun. We've got one coming up next month, which some of my team and I are attending, and so we're super excited about that. We're getting ready for that, and there's lots of buzz happening about that. We have demonstrator only event, demonstrator only website, demonstrator only Facebook pages. We get lots of inspiration from each other. There's always events and things happening. The one that I just spoke about earlier, where I made all of those samples that I showed at the beginning, that was a demonstrator only event that we had on Saturday. And that was super fun. It was just it was just a gathering that we could get together. So we did lots of fun stuff like that. So if you'd like more information about that, feel free to get in contact with me, and I would love to give you more information, answer any of your questions. But yeah, we'd just love to have you as part of our community. You don't need to sell to anybody if you don't want to. You can just purchase the products for yourself and enjoy the discount. But there is a business opportunity there if you want it as well. But if you don't, that's all good, no problems. We're still happy to have you on board. Also too, if you decide after a little while that it's not for you, no problem. There's no lock-in period. You can just go back to being a customer at any time. You don't need to resign or anything official. You just stop ordering as a demonstrator and go back to being a customer. So it's super easy. So let me know if you would like any more information about that, and I can certainly help you out. But yeah, I think that is all for today. Oh, thank you so much, everyone. Everyone is saying that they love my card. Megan said, thank you for sharing all the tips today. Yes, now if you missed the beginning, feel free to go back and watch from the beginning, because I did give lots of tips and I showed some samples of some cards we did on the weekend using different techniques. So feel free to go back and check that. I'm just checking to see if I missed any other comments before I sign off. I think I got everything. Awesome. All right. So remember, if you would like any of these products, they are from the current mini catalogue, the July to December 2021 mini catalogue, available until the 3rd of January or while supplies last, because as I said to you, the ribbon actually is not available right now, but we are getting some more in. We're just not sure when that will be because of all the shipping issues around the world at the moment, thanks to COVID. That's just how it is at the moment in the world, isn't it? Certain things are, yeah, well, there's lots of things actually that are hard to get a hold of. So anyway, I hope you all have a great week. I will be live again at 11 a.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time on Thursday. On Thursdays, I like to do quick and easy projects. So if you love quick and easy projects, or perhaps you're new to stamping, feel free to come along on Thursday and I will give you some ideas for doing quick and easy cards with minimal amount of product. And I look forward to seeing you then. If not, I will see you again next Monday for more detailed projects And I've got some brand new products to share with you next week that are about to release. So look out for that next Monday. But until then, if there's anything I can help you with, if you'd like to know about my upcoming classes, I'll be releasing another class this week. So look out for that. Technique Club has closed. We've got that coming up on the weekend coming. But I've always got events happening. So look out for my events. If you have any questions or you need more information about anything, feel free to get in contact with me. But have a great week, everyone. Stay safe and happy crafting. Bye.